Facebook. Live. Uh-oh. Testing. We're live. All right. Oh, sorry. There we go. All right. So, how are we doing, everybody? We have two different cameras going on here. We are on Instagram Live on the iPad, and then we are live on Facebook. All right. This is actually the first show that we're doing in the Kissimmee location. We're converting this to a studio, basically to, as you can see, we've got mics. We're going to start doing this podcast. We're in the process of getting onto Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, anywhere that you listen to podcasts. That's what we're trying to do. And this show is basically, it's an extension of what we were doing before, but we're taking it to another level. I think it's time to educate people that are, getting on the ground floor of what's going on with medical marijuana, especially in Florida, but beyond that. We want to grow the brand of Green Relief and help people on just an entire level that hasn't been seen before. So again, I'm Sean. I'm usually the host of the show, and then again, Mr. Kerry, the owner. He's the brains behind the operation. So today I wanted to talk about the vape pens. We're going to get to that in just a minute. But let's back up. Kerry.
Yes, sir.
You had a vision for this. We were literally just talking about, where we wanted to take this entire show. You were going to bring in some guests next week. Talk about those guests next week. Who are they? What do they do? And what are we going to start doing with them?
Well, for one, our guests going to come in. We're going to talk about products. We're going to start educating the people of not only what cannabis is, what we can do, methods of administration. We're going to have the dispensaries come in here. Mr. Morgan will be joining our show. He'll be on one of our shows. We'll have John Morgan. We'll have
gotta name drop that.
of course, owner of Knox, by the way. Who didn't know that Knox dispensary is the first one to open out here in Orlando? I wonder why that was.
Yeah.
Mr. Knox. Mr. Morgan came through for that one.
Yeah.
And then next week I have Miss Josie. She's coming in. She runs Knox. She's going to talk a lot about their products, just patient education, what they can do, what they offer there. Kerry is going to come in. Miss Lydia. She's amazing. She'll talk about their products, and it's a big difference. People just think dispensaries are all the same. They're not. Every dispensary is different, and we're going to get into that between their pens and their batteries and how you can take it. And every doctor knows the best way to take the medication. And we're just going to teach everybody how to do it the right way. Not take a guess, but the right way.
That's, honestly, as somebody who has always had some kind of experience with marijuana, I think that it's good to get all of this information out because honestly, some of the CBD products and stuff is still new to me. Like every time I talk to Kerry, literally, I'm learning something new. It's crazy, like even the dosage and things like that. And that's why we wanted to do that, because even if you have some kind of experience with this and you plan on getting your medical marijuana card, which you should, which I'm in the process of doing. So,
yes, sir.
You have to realize that, there's certain things that you got to go, certain processes you got to go through, and we want to make sure that it's the right process and that you're taking the right things because there are so many benefits to medical marijuana, and that's why we're doing this. You got to show everybody how to do this. We talked last show a little bit about the CBD oil. Do we have those lab results or?
We have them. I actually print them out. We'll go back later onto the show. We can show everything. I have it all printed out for everybody.
Okay. Yeah. And we'll also, what we can do, you think we could post some of that on like the pictures? Or
each individual, each individual one we have on the PDF file, we could post up there, and we could actually do a show about that.
Okay.
And that's what we'll do because we'll be doing this between 3 to 5 times a week.
Yeah.
Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays for sure. We'll try to do it on lunchtime, something a little early so people can view it.
Mm-hmm.
It's on 24 hours. So go on our website too. But we'll definitely make sure that every day we get out there something educational for everybody.
I think, that's one of the easiest things is just doing those small steps. Like, hey, we're talking about doing how to use a vape pen. Like it's crazy. I mean, if you go on any social media platform, you're going to see these crazy kids and they're trying to make these giant clouds. That's not that's not something you want to do. Like, you're wasting money at that point. especially when you're using CBD or there is THC in that. Now, talk to me about those lab results real quick. I just wanted to touch on that, and we'll go over that at another time. But what exactly are you testing for in those lab results? Because somebody might be catching this episode right now and they haven't seen what we talked about in the previous episode. So what did you test for in those lab results?
So what we tested for was every cannabinoid and terpene that was in there.
Okay.
So that went under the entire radar. So what came back was one thing, and one thing only, and that was CBD. And that's the only thing that's in our products, and we fractionalized it with coconut oil. A lot of people, a lot of dispensaries, and we're going to get to that. And I would really want people to understand this, is when they look at the oils, a lot of dispensaries, you can tell the difference between coconut oil and olive oil. Now, olive oil, your water's running like a water bed. Like the water just runs and it runs and it runs. And I got some cartridges I can show you guys. But that's about a little later. Mm-hmm. That's cut with olive oil. A lot of dispensaries like that. Like Knox, for example, their cartridges are dark like your shirt. Like Knox puts together between 10 to 15 different blends into their stuff. Okay. Where Cureleaf and Cetera might only do one. So it's crazy in what they do. And when you look at Knox's stuff, their oils are much darker and it's a much legacy because they're much thicker. The thicker the oil, the more potent it is. The longer you have to smoke it. The looser the oil, you're smoking up just olive oil, man. The package might say 80% THC, but I don't see that.
Wow. See, like I didn't even know that. Like cutting it with olive oil, that just doesn't. I mean, to me, that doesn't sound very good.
No. You can cook with it, but let's if we're going to take the best that we can, the best terpenes, the best cannabinoids out of the medication, let's try to keep it as pure as we can. Let's not try to dilute it. Let's not try to put too much things into it. It was God made this. It came from the earth. Yeah. Let's try to get it as simple as we can and keep it that way.
Yeah. No need to mess with something. It's like the old saying, if it's not broken, don't fix it. You know, like why mess with it? Cut it with olive oil. Yeah. So we tested that. That's pure CBD. And then what's with the coconut oil or the MCT oil? Excuse me.
Okay, because we have to fractionalize. Because if anybody, and then we'll show us also in more episodes and further shows. Yeah. If anybody's seen a breakdown of cannabis, like inside dabs format and how they do that, it's so thick. You need something to break it into it. Coconut oil itself is pure. Coconut oil isn't adding anything into it. And tell you the taste is you're not getting that. People who cook, the chefs out there, they know the difference between the extra virgin oil and normal virgin oil. Yeah. You can literally put them both in 2 cups and you can know the difference. It's the same concept when it comes to coconut oil. Coconut oil is a little thicker. You get more of a true process when it comes out of that. And we'll break it down, and I'll have a couple people out here that's going to really specialize in that for us and break down the process. And we'll load some videos up for everybody. And we have a pretty big office out here. We probably get some stuff done out here too to show everybody.
Yeah, I think so. But don't move the red couch. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I love the red couch, man.
Okay, so the coconut oil is in there just to kind of just to add to it, but it doesn't take anything away from the CBD oil. Now we're getting into some of the pens, and I honestly I don't have a whole lot of experience with the pens because they call me old school. Like I'm gonna if I'm using medical marijuana, I'm going to smoke the flower, right? Pens to me, when they first came out, it was a little silly, but you see just like the cartridges and the amount of that you can get in each cartridge and how convenient it is and how much you can spread that along. So you have just a massive amount, what is the difference between going under the tongue and
sublingually?
Yep. Sublingually. Going under the tongue and using the vape pen, what's the biggest difference that you would say?
Well, not only what I would say, but scientifically speaking, is the onset, meaning how fast you feel your medication. So if you take something sublingually under your tongue, 15, 20 minutes, start feeling effects. You take one of these little vape pens out, which you're going to get to, you start inhaling it the correct way. It's a big difference between smoking the right way and smoking the wrong way. And we're going to show that later on today. So that's a huge difference. 90 seconds.
Yeah.
That's a minute and a half. You start feeling the effects once you vape compared to tinctures. Vaping is great for I'm driving on the road rage. Vaping's great for when you hear your alarm go off in the morning and before your feet touch that ground. I tell every patient 3 puffs makes your day go a lot better. Because I'm telling you, I don't know a person who doesn't wake up, who doesn't check their phone, who doesn't have to deal with their kids, who doesn't have to deal with the dog, who doesn't. If you wake up and you wake up with straight serenity, straight happiness, and you go about your whole day, God has blessed you.
Yeah, good for you.
Yeah, like all this high blood pressure pills and everything else. You take your little vape pen, you take a hit or two. You're brushing your teeth, you're getting out with your kids, you're putting your clothes on. There's nothing, no smell to it. It's a big difference between wanting to yank your son up in the morning and say, "Hey, come on," or "Come on, baby, let's go. Let's get outside together." That's a big difference for me. My kids can vouch for that.
Oh man, I can't. I have no kids. I can't even imagine. But see, that's one of the biggest things, and I think even like just the kid, like normal stuff day to day, put that aside. If you have any kind of crippling anxiety where you are inside your head all day, every day, and it can't stop, that I can't even imagine getting up and your alarm goes off and you're already starting to have that crippling anxiety. That would be huge to be able to just roll over, have that, take a few puffs, correct puffs, not like, you're wasteful, I'm going to just drag this for 5 minutes.
You know the best thing about it, Sean, is the smoke detectors don't go off.
Yeah.
In your bed, in your home, Netflix and chill like many of us do. Anything for seizures, we have somebody out there. Of course, yes, seizures are great. Tinctures are amazing. The same thing we were talking about. We'll do an episode next week, and I'll have Miss Josie come in from Knox, and they have great options like suppositories. I know some people might think, "Oh my God, that's crazy." I'm not putting nothing up there, but anybody scientifically speaking and medically speaking, that suppositories or putting anything up there in that region is a great way to get medicine into your system. And they have great tinctures. Like, and I'll really show you. If you're out here, Nooney Rim, in Kissimmee, Orlando, the Florida region, just call us 407-572-8643. Go on the website, agreenrelief.com. Contact us. You can call us right now. We have reps available right now waiting to answer you guys' questions.
Perfect. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about what we've got today, the Cureleaf Simple Vape Pens. All right. Right now, I have, what did I have? I think I've got the chocolate mint.
Yeah, you got chocolate mint.
Yeah.
I took cherry vanilla.
Let's open this up real quick. I want to take a peek at this. Talk to me about Cureleaf. Who are they? What do they do? And where are they at?
Well, Cureleaf's in Florida. Well, actually, Cureleaf is, I want to say they're in like 4 or 5 states. I know they're in Arizona.
Okay.
I know that they're in Cali.
Of course.
I know that we have them in Vegas. They're in Florida. There are a bunch of locations out here. Cureleaf is legit. It comes in a box just like this. It comes sealed. We have another package here to show everybody how it comes in. Your flavors on top. Packaging always changes, so don't get used particularly to the box. Pop open the box. It comes out in a smell-proof container. It's pretty cool how they have it all set up. Put it down on your desk. Now, it's child-proof. It's very important that everybody takes a look at this. It's child-proof. Pop it open. I don't know if you guys heard that. It's a...
Squeeze it.
Yep. Take your pen out. These are really cool. Yeah, it smells like it too.
It does.
I'm telling you guys, this is a difference. This is a huge difference out here. Now, these pens are really cool. Like, some people who's not familiar with pens at all, they might think, where's the oil at? Where's that? It's actually built in here.
Yeah, I was honestly, it's kind of amazing when you look at it. There's nothing to it.
Yeah, it's. I'm gonna show everybody lights up at the bottom. People are like, how you smoke out of it? Well, there's a hole on top. We'll be able to show everybody the hole.
Yep.
So they can see it.
There, and then
this part actually lights up, and they put their logo on there, which is pretty smart to do. So they have their logo on here, so when it lights up, you can smoke out of it. Now, this lasts you, on an average person, I would want to say between 150 to 250 volts. I know that's a huge draw. People don't say, that's 100 hits, it's a big difference.
Yeah.
As the show continues, we're going to show you the difference. So when I'm done here, I'm closing it back up, put my stuff back together. Because one thing I want to do is once I start my vape pen and I got my vape pen, I want to keep it. I never want to just keep going and switching through vape pens, and I'll get to the reason why to that. If anybody knows out there, please message us in, DM us, talk to us right now. If you know why you shouldn't be switching vape pens. If you light a vape pen, you should be using it. You shouldn't be lighting it and leaving it down.
Go ahead and just go into that.
So long story short, when you light your battery on here, and this tells you it's 30% on here, it tells you all the hits on there. When you start smoking it, it bubbles up. Anybody's ever seen the oil in the actual vape pen starts to bubble up. That means not only is it, let's say this much is oil in here. The bottom part down here is the coil. So people think that only down here is the coil that's lighting up. That's incorrect, my friend. This whole thing, after you keep smoking, smokers know this, and you new smokers are going to learn this. When you smoke your pen, it starts to get a little hotter and a little hotter and a little hotter. So what happens? The heat goes up. Now all your oil is getting hot. Everything is lighting up. So you have this whole thing now. Everything's bubbling up. And what times when oxygen does? It's going to evaporate. So and then what happens when you light this up? What happens when you let the oil get hot and you let it back down? It gets sticky. You continuously doing that, you're losing your oil. It takes longer for your battery to heat up all that oil to take the vapor out of it. You're burning through your oil. So once you start smoking, they say your vape pens, like a pen like this, should last you 1 to 2 weeks. People tell me they have their pens for months and months. Well, you're not vaping correctly. And if you do have this one pen for months and months, well, you're probably taking tinctures. Sorry, you're probably taking your patches. You're probably taking something else out there that's helping you with this. You're not just telling me you're taking this pen for a whole month by yourself.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's again, like if you're not taking it correctly, if you're not hitting it correctly, then you have no idea. You know.
Very true.
So you said you're supposed to have this for about a week, 2 weeks. If you are, I'm just gonna wait this motorcycle goes by. There we go. So let's say I went to Curaleaf, I got one of these, and it's 2 weeks, and I'm still using this thing.
That's great.
That's great. Okay.
What else are you using? Well, how type of using? Remember, we're talking about a patient who's only using a vape pen. Excuse me. Your vape pen onset takes about 90 seconds for you to start feeling medical cannabis. It can last up to 2 hours. So that means if you're smoking 5 to 6 draws or hits onto this, that's going to last you 2 hours, 8, 9, 10. By 10:30, you're looking around, you're back, you're feeling the same way you were feeling at 7:30. The thing is, the problem is when you only use vaporization, whether you're smoking actual ganja, it's such a short duration. And that short duration it's for, you're like this, you're in a whirlwind. It's like a heartbeat. I never tell a patient to live your life like a heartbeat and look at me like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? You like living on a roller coaster? No, you want to be smooth sailing. You want to be on a flat road. There's a reason why our roads out here are flat, man. I'm not stressing about shit.
Yeah.
Our life has to be the same way. If we're able to be cool on the same level head, life is much simpler. If we go from stressed out at 7:30 to feeling good at 8:30, 9:30 we're good, 10:30 we're feeling good, 10:45, back in the same zone.
Yeah.
It's never good.
Yeah. So okay. So like, let's say you're using, just for example's sake, only the pens.
Yeah.
Which you would recommend to kind of time it out. So you say, all right, I know about 2 hours from now, I'm going to start feeling like I need 3 more inhales. So maybe an hour and a half, you take 3 inhales just to get ahead of the curve, right?
And the thing is, all of our patients can walk around with a journal. When you start taking medication with us, that first 3 weeks, you have to write down what you're taking and how you're taking it. And this is what you come back in for the follow-up visit for, and we educate you. You might be saying, okay, you know what? I'm trying to pre-time my inhalations. Now I'm smoking a hybrid right now. I'm smoking this all day. If I keep timing it too early, I might get too high.
Yeah.
This has THC in it, guys.
Yeah.
We need to know what works best for us, not for the patient, not for every patient. Not every patient's the same, my friend.
Well, yeah. I mean, of course. I mean, it's like I've got a real extensive background in exercise. And it's the same thing. Like every person is starting off at a different point, and you have to remember that everybody's got different metabolisms and injuries and things like that, and it's the same thing. And that's why we want you to get in front of one of our doctors, because they're going to give you a precise plan of, hey, this is how much you need to be using the pen, this is how much you're going to be using the flower, whatever they recommend. That's what they're there for. Now you can have this in just THC or excuse me, CBD and THC. What is the chocolate one and the vanilla one? Go over that.
Well, chocolate and vanilla, two different flavors. They're both THC based. They're both hybrids.
Okay.
30% is the ratio of the THC on here. That's very, very important.
Explain that. That's where it starts to get a little tricky.
Yeah,
Okay.
it really does. So
Yeah.
the weed smokers out there who think that ganja is the best thing in the world, I want to smoke the bud. The best bud out there is 22% THC. That's your euphoria effect. That's your I want to get high, cloud nine.
Why 22%?
Because that's how the field strains. Actual ganja itself, the actual bud,
Mm-hmm.
you can't get the 80% or 90%. You have to melt it down to the oil format. This
Mm-hmm.
is at 30%. This is what you call. We're thinking that, and I'm telling you guys how scientifically speaking on it. We're thinking 30% is so much. They have pens out there at 90%. There's pens at 94%. Truly have those called true pods. It looks like the little Men in Black stick. You put it up there, erases your memory. Yeah, it really feels like that. Hit that a couple of times, you're really going to forget what life was. Might want to plug that in there.
Yeah.
So 30% THC. On these are really cool. It's really, really important to have your harvest number on here. And we'll post pictures of it a little later. Everybody can see it. Your harvest number is very, very important to have. It shows, and your batch number. You take this back to your dispensary. A lot of times that this batch right here might be yielded from a Pineapple Express strain. You're able to go to your dispensary and figure out what strain this was yielded from. Like we chose OG Kush. This could be a Pineapple Express. This could be a Purple Hindu. This could be a Golden Goat, whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
Let's find that out. That's the difference between every dispensary. And that's why when we lab test our products like Green Relief, we're telling you what you're taking. You're not guessing here, guys. And that's something when Miss Josie comes on the show and Miss Lydia, we ask them about that. Why don't you guys tell them the strains? Where are you yielding this from? Let's get down through. These are a lot of questions I have. I know they have also.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like anything else, like food quality. You want to know where it's coming from,
Mm-hmm.
and how much do I need to eat, and all of that. Now, so the THC, we're at 30%. Do they have just regular CBD pens, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So
And we have our own CBD pens also, our jewel pods,
Mhm.
that you're able to purchase through us instead of going to the dispensary for half the price. Our jewel pods pens are 250 milligrams. You're averaging about 160 to 250 hits, and it's actual jewel pods, and it's $25.
is that available on the Amazon store yet?
Man, dude, the Amazon store's gonna be up running by next week.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I actually got a copy. They actually sent you like how it's gonna look and everything. So
Yeah.
I got that done today. So I just got to review it today. After the show, I'll be doing a lot of stuff like that.
Cool. Yeah. So that's a big thing. We're gonna have we've been putting out that we have the CBD products and the jewel pods and things like that. But we're gonna have an Amazon store where you can go on and purchase everything. And once that goes live and everything is settled with that, we're gonna put that we'll put the link up for that so you can purchase whatever you need to. And of course, go to agreenrelief.com. Make sure that you are getting yourself an appointment for a medical marijuana card because you can't use any of these products because it has THC in it until you have your card. Okay, so you can't just say, well, I'm going to go to Cureleaf and go ahead and get one. Well, you got to go through a couple steps. Yeah, it's not happening yet. So they're coming. Cureleaf will be here next week. I'm excited for that. That's going to be really
Cureleaf
cool.
and Knox will be here next week.
That's going to be cool. That's going to be real cool. All right. So I want to actually, are we allowed to use that? Okay.
We'll start showing everybody.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do that real quick. I just want to plug the iPad in because that's starting to die. Let me see. Technical difficulties, folks.
I'm telling you, we're up and running. Our wall back here will be wrapped like I was showing everybody. It'll look like a little different. We'll have our stuff charged up. It's my fault, guys.
No, it's good. That's actually, man, we're going to have like a legit studio in here.
It doesn't get much more legit than these, man. These boys are.
I was just going to say, yeah. I told Kerry earlier, I was like, man, I feel like we're calling the Magic game or something.
Got that, man.
There we go. Okay. Let me actually do this. Are the Magic even good this year?
They do. They might mess around and make the playoffs, dude.
What?
Yeah, I actually got season tickets to the Magic, man. I still in the away section though. I'm sorry to say, but
infiltrate them. There
yeah,
you go.
I do have 2 tickets out there. Me and my kids go. I have 2 kids. I have 2 boys and a daughter. So I rotate my boys out there.
Rotate them.
Yeah, a little daddy time.
There you
So
go.
these pens, back to business, right?
All right, back to business. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. I popped it open. All right, man. All right, teach me how to do this.
So first thing we're gonna look for is the hole, and no pun intended, guys. That's the hole right there. That's our mechanism where the vaporization is gonna come out. The bottom part's gonna light up. So I teach patients that your draw, your inhalation, as long your hit, however you want to call it, 3 seconds, guys. I'm gonna teach you now, and I'm not talking about 1, 2, 3. I'm not talking about Jackie Chan 3 seconds. I'm talking about no rush hour 3 seconds.
Yeah, no.
We're gonna take our time. We're gonna use our hands out here. We're gonna go preschool.
Okay.
So another thing also is a big cloud, stigmatism, as they say, over vaporization and smoking and coughing. I'm gonna teach everybody today how not to cough and smoke. Lubrication. As funny as it sounds, as crazy as it sounds, guys, take a swig with me. I'm here. Oh, 1, water's great for you, we all know this, but 2, it keeps my throat lubricated. I'm putting vapor, I'm putting air into my throat. I'm inhaling this. It's going to dry out my throat. It's going to then give me a dry cough. It's called a smoker's cough. That's what's going to end up happening, guys. Keep ourselves lubricated, it doesn't happen. Now back to it. Curly pens, let's do this. Take inhalation and you hold it and you can taste this. Now everybody just saw it just lit up on here for us. It lights up. Now I'm talking to you guys. I took 1 hit. I took a second inhalation. It doesn't burn. It doesn't hurt. I take my 3rd inhalation. I was able to take 1 draw for 3 seconds with Sean here. Burning?
That was probably the smoothest vape that I've ever had.
I told you, man.
I don't even feel like I like actually burn, like nothing burned. I don't feel like I got a cough.
I call that an expert hit. You know what's called an expert hit? 3 times 3 is what?
9.
So we just took 9 hits basically. How did we just do that, Sean? We just inhaled 1, 2, 3.
Yep.
We inhaled it again.
Yep.
That's like a second draw we just took. And then we inhaled it a 3rd time.
Okay.
We gave our body the time, the smoke to go in there. Now, if we were a patient, like for example, my test telling me to take, like, I'll show everybody how I smoke now. I figured to do it more of a 5 second. I have people on here, this thing goes forever.
Still going.
15 seconds is what it takes. I took a 15-second inhalation.
And you don't smell anything. Nothing. We're inside. No smoke alarms. Nothing.
Easy.
Easy. And don't forget the lubrication. Pre and post, of course. he's not coughing because of the that was definitely wrong hole, right?
Funny. Oh man, 15 seconds. You're able to hit it.
Yeah. Honestly, that was because I've been with people, and they're like, oh, hey, just take a hit, and you have no idea, like you have no idea how much they've heated up their oil before because they're always on it.
Mm-hmm.
You have no idea what strain it is. You have no idea like anything, and sometimes you get some harsh hits, but that was extremely smooth.
Yeah.
Smells
Smells great, tastes great.
Yeah. The chocolate. I got the chocolate mint. So
$18. Curly leaf. You can't beat it.
yeah. Where are they? Where's their office around here? Where their
The
location?
closest location is next to Dr. Kivitz's office at the Orlando location. It's about 10 minutes away from there.
The
It's on
Curry
Curry
Ford.
Ford. Yep.
Curry Ford. Okay, so it's around the Curry Ford area.
Yeah, there's one there. They come into the Miami. They come into Orlando International Airport.
Are they really?
They're gonna be the first dispensary to open up in the airport out here in Florida.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny. I think one of the first experiences I had with any kind of THC while flying was I took a flight over to Paris, and then I flew to Amsterdam, and then from Amsterdam I came home. And the flight from Amsterdam was probably about 7 hours, maybe a little bit longer. And for whatever reason, like I've flown continental plenty of times, like Michigan and like New York and stuff. For whatever reason, like going over the ocean or anything over like 4 hours, I just got anxiety.
Yeah.
I get like really anxious on long flights for some reason. I don't know if it's because I feel like confined.
Trapped in one spot, probably.
Yeah, that's probably what it was. But I took a little bit of the Amsterdam products over there. I was asleep. I woke up. I was perfectly happy. I had no problems whatsoever. Like, no, for real. I had like tightness in my chest. I had trouble breathing. It was really weird, But that didn't happen when I was flying back from Amsterdam. So, at this point, we're about at the 30-minute mark. I want to start to wrap things up. And also, if you guys have any questions, especially on Instagram or Facebook, we want to take this time now to answer any questions. And I don't think we had any.
Just the seizures part.
Yeah, just the seizures. That was. Let me go ahead and start waiting for people. So normally at this time, we'll go ahead and answer any questions that we have. But I think that's about it. Do you have any last words for everybody?
Monday's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
We have a lot in store Monday.
Yeah, Monday's going to be big. I think just not even in Florida, but overall, man. Like this is a really, really good opportunity because it's such a not new, but it's just not the same as any other state to state issue. It's so beneficial, and I think making people understand what they can do with it and how powerful it actually is, I think that's big, man. So I'm excited. So make sure you guys are listening on Monday. We'll get a time together about when that is. Then that way you guys can kind of plan to be on and ask questions, please. That's why we're doing this. We really want to encourage dialogue for everybody, and we want to hear from you. So if you've been a patient actually with us, at a Green Relief, let us know. We'd love to have you on and talk to you about your experience and how we were able to help out. Okay. So, Kerry, with that being said, I think that wraps up the day today.
Yes, sir.
All right, perfect. Well, we'll be back on Monday, and you guys have a great weekend. Yep. See you then.
Not too bad, dude.